be passionate about what you're arguing. And the third thing is credibility. If someone says that you're a credible source, it means that you've got data to back up what you're saying. You're using case studies or examples, okay? For today's lesson, I'll allow you to make up data. So you can talk about statistics that you've made up, okay? Just for the purpose of a debate. Third thing is you have to thank your audience for their time, okay? Just to remain polite to them. Now, we decided yesterday who was going to be for and against. Anyone who is in favour for cloning, put your hands up. Those groups, and then you can start working on these sheets, okay? Keep 2 as notes and then 1 for your real one, okay? 1, 2, 3. 2 as notes, scribble, and then the other one is your real final version. Thanks, Jonathan. And over here, fantastic. Sorry, girls. Okay? You're welcome. And against, can we put our hands up? You've got one, brilliant. Do you want one for notes as well, just in case? Brilliant. Girls? Brilliant. I'll get you, but there's only 2 of you in that group. Because Jordan and Jonathan are against cloning, yeah? So you do 1 as notes and 1 as your real version, okay? 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Here are some for and against. So you could say 75% of all embryos cloned end up not being used. Do you know, if you want to use that as an argument, I'll allow you just today. Okay? There's some arguments for you. There's a few for you to start, okay? For and against. Okay, there's a few for you already, and you can also see what the other group are going to look at. There's your for and against, okay? Push time window there. Right, you 4.
Yeah.
I'm expecting amazing things from you, okay?
Okay.
You are the highest in this class, and you should have lots of these, plus your own ideas in here. You also need to look at this and say, these are your reasons against, and these are your reasons for. So you need to see what the other group are going to be arguing as well.
So can you get up and have a look at them? Have a look at their notes?
No, this is the notes I'm giving them. So you see the arguments I'm giving them as well, so you've got kind of an insider's point of view. Yes? That makes sense? What do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to discuss why we are in favour of cloning. The reasons we are in favour of cloning are...
What reasons, yeah?
There's some to start you off, but I want you to add some more things to it, okay? Remember, look at what's on the board. Kavita. Yeah.
Would they be home dead, or would their cells?
Their cells could be revived, but it might be difficult. If their cells are dead already, it might be very difficult.
They're dead.
Yeah. Bring them back from life. Yeah, that's quite tricky.
But if they're going to be exactly the same, and they're already dead, would that?
Their lives, it depends how they died. And if it's an age, if their cells have aged, and that's the reason why they've died, or cancer, or some disease like that, then yes, they'll be dead as well. But if it was an accident, then not necessarily. But this is the whole debate about cloning. Is it religious? Is it moral? Is it science? So is it down to religion saying this is when you're going to die and nothing can stop you from that happening? You know, fate and destiny? Yeah. Dead. More than likely, it depends how they've died. Yeah, because the cells will be dead. Yeah, so they would be. So if you did it to someone who was sick, then maybe you could treat that illness and bring them back. You know, terminally ill patients. It's not very nice to think. No, it's not very nice to think about. Kind of, yeah. Which is some people would believe in. But do we have the right to play God? Do we have the right to do that? Do we have the right to decide, oh, I want to stay living forever? Do you know? And then is it down to who can afford to do it? Because things cost money. So will it come down to who can afford to do it? Do you know, so rich people will live forever and poor people will just die when naturally they should, you know, their kind of lifespan runs out. It'll be 70, but yeah. Yeah, so is that right? Is it right to do that to someone, to keep them alive for another few years and put them through that? Or put their family through that? But how do you know what's going to happen, fate? How do you know if you brought them back to life, they wouldn't, you know, terrible, but get hit by a bus? Yeah. Dead, then their cells are dead. Yeah, so you can't, no. But if theoretically you could take the genetics and then do it, you could. Theoretically, but it's not. That's the big debate, and it's very, that's another. Yeah, it's not. A bit like a horror movie or something, isn't it? But, back to this. Against. So here's 4 against. Now use these if you want, or use something different. But you can say, one of the big arguments against cloning is us playing God, and us playing Mother Nature. And do we have the right to do that, because do we know what will happen? Do you know what I mean? We don't know what the outcome is going to be. Okay? Boys, how are we doing?
Thought he died of lung cancer, lung disease. Or did you just put...
Well, we don't know. It's when they did the autopsy, it was like the lung disease, but they also, she died at an early age because the mother cell, remember what we looked at yesterday? She died when she was 6, but she was taken from someone who was 6, so that was kind of half her lifespan gone already. So did her mother, or did the cell that she came from, did that person die, did that sheep die of lung disease as well? I don't know the answer. That's something that you could research. Yeah. Yeah, but same, she was terminally ill.
Yeah, but Mitch, even though she was 6 then, when she died, she might have been 12 now.
Yeah, because she was 6 to begin with. Yeah, that's what I mean. So which is the norm between 10 to 16. So what they were saying over there is if you cloned someone as an adult, they wouldn't probably last very long because they wouldn't start from birth again. It's tricky, isn't it? Think about it. It's a very tricky subject, and loads of scientists, adult scientists, can't make their minds up about cloning. Because it brings in morals, ethics, fate, destiny, so many things come into it, it's actually really tricky to debate. And this is a really good skill for you if you can do this and argue for and against it. How are we doing? There are many opinions of cloning. Living beings, firstly, if an animal is on the brink of extinction and cannot reproduce, then their species should be allowed to be cloned. Endangered animals should be cloned until they are... Yeah, that's good. A lot of people say yes, that's true. Good. Plants, the same. You can clone plants very easily. Humans, not necessarily, are you saying? Are you saying the higher we are in the food chain, the less we're allowed to be cloned?
Because they have less, like we populate the world with billions of people.
Yeah.
But they have like 50 the whole entire world.
Okay, endangered species. What about plants? What about blades of grass? How many blades of grass are there in the world? Zillions. But you could clone those. There's no point, but you could, and no one would bat an eyelid if you did. No one would care, would they? It's a waste of resource, a waste of money. Science, money. Good, yeah? Keep going though, think about it. You could, yeah, these, anything on the sheet you can use to help back up your evidence. Yeah? Kavita.
See when we were saying about if you clone a dead person, there's a chance that it will be dead.
Yeah.
How did you write that? Miss, by the way, we're not doing it.
No, you don't have to.
That's on the drink, please.
Was it water?
It's not. It's juice.
Is it in that bottle? Yeah. What was I going to say? How would you write it? I don't know. If you say something like you try to clone the human, the genetics of a human, you take a sample from the genes of a human who's passed away, then the chances of the person of being... It's difficult, isn't it? Think about it. That's a funny argument. Look at some of these. These are easier arguments sometimes as well, okay? And then it might come to you how to phrase it.
Can you put cells from a dead person into a mix?
You could, but they wouldn't reproduce, they wouldn't do anything because they're dead. So you can't really use them, and the gene's the same. So really, you can't really reproduce dead bodies. No. No.
Well, can we argue that we are here to explain the reasons why we think cloning should be against the law?
Yes, you could, yeah, of course you can. Say whatever you want like that, that's fine. All right? Fantastic, good. How are we doing? Oh my God, that's brilliant. First reason I'm against cloning is that we are against cloning. Is that it can be used as a money-making scheme. Fantastic. For example, I once knew a farmer who had, yes, I like that. That's brilliant. That's using that example, that he wanted to clone just for money. I think that he isn't doing this for good of the animal. Yes, good. So you think about the animal rights as well, for a scientific reason. He just wanted money. This is dangerous for the animal as it requires DNA to be taken from the animal, and this can lead to disease. How?
Well, he said that it says wasted. Life is being wasted. So
Because if you take the DNA from an animal, maybe they just kill the animal afterwards, maybe they take a lot of the DNA. How would it lead to disease for that animal? That's the thing.
like operations can be.
So they could get some septic wounds or something, is that what you're saying? Or if you do blood transfusion, maybe there's something in that? Okay, just explain that in a bit more detail, okay? Because you should be doing extension work, and that if you explain that in a bit more detail, that would be perfect. And death, I agree with that, because sometimes they will kill the animal after they've taken samples as well.
Can I say too much DNA is taken?
If too much blood is taken, maybe that'll make them ill, and they'll affect their immune system, because their white blood cells won't be there. Yeah? Be with you 1 second, Kiara.
Miss, can you read this, alright? And it's right, cloning humans could also be a benefit as it could bring back people who have passed away, right?
Yeah.
That could be a benefit. It's not a benefit.
Why? How? But what if it's someone young and they died suddenly?
But
What if someone who knew the answers to questions? What if it was?
Be a waste though, because they're still going to have to use. They're not going to be able to do it first try. So it's going to be wasted
Why?
time.
How? Why not? What if they've experimented on animals? Why wouldn't they be able to do it first try?
Because no one else is.
Okay. Yeah, good, yeah, I agree with you. But what if a scientist, for example, who had the answer to the cure for diseases had died suddenly, and they needed to speak to that scientist to get her opinion or his opinion and their results? So is it worth bringing them back from the dead?
I suppose, but
How would you do it? Can you bring someone back if they're can you take genes?
You clone the genes from their parents.
From their parents, but not necessarily. If you clone their parents, you're going to get a replica of the parents. How would you get a replica of that person again?
Dead body.
But
Their bones. Blood.
can you use that genes? Would you be able to use those genes?
Probably not.
Think about that one. Think about it. It's a good point. I like your point, but just think about it. Kiara.
Let's watch this game.
Cloning is not only a scientific achievement, but it also is a necessity to increase the population of endangered animals and plants. Good, I like that, that's good.
We were trying to say, like, it's not just a personal need.
It's an environment, write that down, it's not just a personal need, it's an environmental need. Ryan, do you agree with that? Yeah? Good?
Personally, but an environmental.
Should we put that instead of that?
An environmental, put it as well, it just fits in at the end of that, I think, quite nicely. It's not just a personal need, but an environmental one. Good? Good? Guys, I'm going to give you 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give each group about 3 more minutes, okay, to finish this up. Doesn't have to be the side of this sheet, okay? And if it's longer, it can go onto the back, that's fine. It doesn't matter, it's not quantity, it's quality. But about 3 more minutes, and then Alex, I want you to decide who's going to speak in groups. 3, 4 minutes. Off you go.